almost thinking, oh, where am I? But thank you guys. Thank you so very much. We hope that you're enjoying this conversation. If you have any questions, if you're watching from Zoom or if you're watching from Facebook, please drop that in the chat room and we will definitely attend to it. At this junction, permit me to bring in one of our special, so we stay half of this period. Hello guys, we're going to be bringing in a certified John Maxwell coach trainer and a behavioral speaker. She is the founder and CEO of This is Consulting, and this consulting is located in Abuja. For those of us who are in Abuja or in the northern part of Nigeria, and we will be requiring somebody to help us with conversations like this. May we all make welcome, gentlemen, if we have in the room, and amazing ladies, Rahina Idris. Hi, Rahina, are you there?
Hi, Mariam. How are you? Can you hear me?
I'm thinking that we can see Rahina at this time. Can we all?
Okay.
Okay. Rahina, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you. So we're going to be asking you. Yes, we're going to be asking you very short questions, and we would just like for you to speak to them and we, trash this topic for the benefit of our viewers who are listening from the comfort of their homes. So we're going to be asking the first one, and then we want to even come from the mentoring angle or the mentoring perspective. We've heard several people say that career mentoring is important for people, whether you're the one who is employed in the business or you're the one who is doing the employing in the business. So what can you speak to career mentoring? What does it do? How does it help today's woman or today's businesses? What can you tell us about career mentoring?
Okay. When we talk about career mentoring, we all know that the whole idea or the concept of mentoring is to have somebody who is experienced in a certain field to be able to take on somebody who is less experienced and guide them towards, the right direction to build the kind of life that they want or to achieve the kind of goals that they're looking for. Inexperience can keep you very unclear about your goals, which is I think a struggle. We're not taught in school about setting goals. We're being taught more in academics and some practical stuff, but we're not told or taught how to live life. So we end up coming out of university extremely unclear about where we want to go or what we want to do in our lives. So the whole idea of career mentoring is to help you to map out as a career person where you want to go, because having a mentor can help you to create a clear vision or a clear map of where you want to go. But having said that, there's a lot of misconception when it comes to mentoring, where people feel that I personally have been through that, having been mentored in the past, where people just expect the mentor to define or create their goals. They expect so much from the mentor. But the idea of career mentoring is so that you create the vision that you want, and then if you're able to clearly communicate that vision to your mentor, then they'll be able to help you articulate it and help you to get what you really want. They have a lot of experience, and with their experience, they can help you to create that kind of skills, or the kind of skills. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. So I want to also talk to something around networking. We've heard people say network your way to success. And in fact, that is how they usually use that conversation. Network your way to success. Network your way to success. What can you say about networking your way to success? And then there's a part B to this question, right? Muslim women do tend to have limiting beliefs about networking. Yeah. So what would you say to that? How can they bring down these limiting beliefs that they have or that they do carry out right now when it comes to networking, on the basis of I'm a Muslim, I'm a woman, and, this would
Okay, so thank you for that. The first part, just like my sister Basmala said earlier, your network is your net worth. And a lot of times the kind of people that you put around you or the circle that you keep with actually determine, where you go. They say if there are 5 people in the room, if there are 5 poor people in the room, the 6th poorest person in the room would be you. So it's really important to align yourself with people of value who can actually add value to you, and as well you can add value to them. So networking is really important. As they say, my mentor says, one person is too small to achieve greatness. And you have to stay focused when you start to build that relationship, networking relationship, making sure that you make real connections, not just collecting business cards from people. And networking is not just about selling. I think that's a big misconception that people make, that, when I try to connect with you, the first thing I want to do is to tell you what I'm trying to achieve, what my goals are, whatever your career goals are, or whatever products you're trying to sell. But understanding that you have to be able to create that real connection with people. Once you can touch it, they say once you touch someone's heart, you have a key to their, I mean, there's a saying around that thing that, once you're able to touch a person's heart, you have that person to yourself. So be able to know exactly, how to connect with people, listen very well, be curious, ask a lot of questions, and then, extract as much as you can from them, and see how you can connect better with them. And then the second part of the question is, sorry, I'm rushing because I know we have limited time. But the second part of the question, you did mention about, I think you said limiting beliefs, is that right, for Muslim women?
Thank you for that, Raina. Thank you.
Okay, so the second part of the question, where you said about limiting beliefs that Muslim women go through, I think there's a lot of limiting beliefs, but I'll just say just a few. One of the first is, for me, in my own perception, is that women feel, generally, I think it's a women thing, where they feel, how do I relate with, connect with, men, especially when you get to a certain stage in your life. There's that fear that comes when you're a woman. How do you connect with men? People might perceive you. People even say it. Some men even say that, this person is too pushy and things like that. So sometimes those kind of conversations can make women become a bit uptight when it comes to, following their career goals. Another issue is that we also always say that there's this saying where people say women are our worst enemies. I don't know if that is true. I don't like to believe that. But because of that, I think a lot of women become a bit uptight when it comes to sharing, or sharing the space, or sharing ideas or knowledge with other women, where you start to say that, and then it pushes, others to, other women to start operating from a scarcity point of view, where they want to hold on to everything and anything, and they're not willing to open up and allow themselves to learn and experience, from other, learn and experience.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for that, Raina. My last question to you would then be, how do you think that we can use social media platforms that promote professional networking to our advantage?
Well, there's so much, the world order has changed, really. Social media has probably come to stay, and we can't run away from that. But the most important thing is that as a career person, depending on what your goals are, you have to be able to know this is where I'm heading to, this is what I want, maintaining a professional platform. Because when you're a career person and your platform, when people open it up, all they see is you having fun, or it doesn't really represent that person. So it's really important for your profile to really represent what you are trying to push out. Also, based on what your goals are, you can make global connections. Social media now is used for collaboration, partnerships, recruitment. Even recruitment now is being done on the social media. I've had a couple of times where, I'm being called to a platform to speak, and the first thing they say is, can we have your social media platform? And this might not even be, it might not be an engagement where you need where we're doing something on social, but they just want to have a view of, who you are on the social media. So comporting yourself in the right way or right manner, staying focused or staying glued to your goals, connecting with like-minded people, whether it's organizations, people, looking at your industry, knowing the trends and the trends and what's happening within your industry. Also talking about those issues, talking about, when people come to your platform, they see value, they see somebody who they can connect with. And that way it opens doors. Global connections come from social media. Sometimes, you find a lot of people wanting to operate at a local level, but now social media has made it so for us to operate at a global level where you can actually reach out to organizations or people, here and beyond shores. So there's a lot of benefits to social media and what you can do. It gives you the opportunity to showcase your expertise and also showcase your talent and who you are.
Thank you so much. You really touched around the things that we're going to ask around networking, mentoring, and using social media to leverage professionalism. How we can use a social media as form as Instagram to connect to the right kind of people that will either buy our business or buy our CV and pay us the kind of money that we're looking for. Thank you, Ryan. But please stay on the line as we have some questions from the audience, and we'll be taking that very shortly. But I will quickly take one or two questions with Efe and Basmala. Then we'll go to the question right now. Thank you, but please stay on the line. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
I'm going to quickly touch on organizational practices. That's when I come to workplace culture or practices, right, that affects the career.
Before I delve into that, I think we need to establish the fact that because when the term workplace comes up, we automatically look at the private sector. We mustn't forget the public sector at all. Although the government, because the government is in charge of the public sector, I think, although the government gives allowances and room for their staff, both the male and the female counterpart, and then there is room for you to do the needful, and there is room for you to go and excel because of the civil service code and all of that. However, what applies to the public sector does not necessarily apply to the private sector. Now that that has been established, exactly. Now that that has been established, because I keep thinking who is advocating for those in the public sector, exactly. So now that that has been established, why don't we look at how the culture of the private sector affects the female gender? Now, there's a stereotype that has been stuck on the female, the woman, that has been stuck on the woman, and it's that she is looked down upon. Now, this stereotype isn't necessarily, it didn't evolve necessarily from the workplace, but more of a cultural and social stereotype. And seeing as we are individuals, we bring these things into the workplace because this is what we know, this is who we are. And I would say that it is restricted to Africa, no. The coronavirus, yes, coronavirus has really exposed a whole lot of things. It has made us see what is hidden. You see people say that they practice inclusion, and at the end of the day, you find only one or two persons of color or one or two women in the organization, and that woman is not even giving the avenue, the opportunity to discharge her responsibilities accordingly. And then when she's trying to, make a headway, irrespective of whatever challenges have been put in place, exactly, have been put in her path. Thank you very much. Irrespective of the challenges in her path, she is labeled, terrible terms, she is labeled as being too much, and by the time she begins to complain to HR that so and so person, especially those in senior and top management of the male gender, by the time she complains 1, 2, 3 times, management sits and decides on whether or not to let her continue with the organization or let her go. And then by the time she's let go, the report on her, on her character comes up as something bad, and then she doesn't get a reference to continue with another organization. Because when you want to apply somebody, reference is important, and then you have to call the previous employer, and then you get terrible reports. Oh no, she's not somebody you want to work with, she's not somebody you want to do anything with because she's too much. That's the thing. So it is what it is.
Thank you, thank you. And I'm going to take from that understanding and look at this way. To women who own businesses, and this is us speaking very frankly, we're not speaking from the place of pain, we're speaking from the place of love, and we should begin to put our foot down and say, these things should stop. So to women who own businesses, and a lot of them are out there listening to us right now, and to women who own businesses, what practices should they stop doing that currently affects women like themselves? And it's the list of our best practices to start with. Anything that we do. From the years of experience, we want to share with the audience.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much because I really love the points that she made. I think women, there's a certain perspective around how women folk are seen in today's society, both in society itself and then in the workplace. Women are seen as she can't do it, don't give it to her, give it to the man in that specialty. And it really affects the mindset of the female employee. Okay, so when as a female entrepreneur who is hiring women under her wing to train these people, understand the risks that these women are being exposed to for the fact that they are working with you, for you, so understand these risks. How can you help these women? How can you protect them? So you have this power. Understand that these women are coming from places where nobody even thought that they were going to do these things. So how do you encourage them? Does your policy cover, days off for whatever monthly illnesses that they may be coming down with? Does your policy encourage, okay, you can bring your baby to work, you don't have somebody to care for them at home? So as much as policies are stifling, policies are not made to make your organization rigid. Policies are made to guide these people. But as you're guiding them, are you holding them by the hand and telling them that, look, I support you, I want to help you grow, not only in your career, but personally. So what are these personal issues that you have, and how can I help you? You hear, okay, what a man can do, a woman can do better. You'll be surprised, okay, this woman has a lot of personal issues that she's dealing with. How can I help her to minimize these personal issues so she can be focused on the job? Okay, so you need to look at what your policy covers. Does my policy support this woman to take some time off and attend to her personal issues so that she comes back refreshed? Okay, stronger, more efficient. So you look at these factors, look at these things, and figure out ways you can help this woman. And then another thing, in the workplace, you have a lot of men who want to take advantage of the fact that they are men. I'm not saying the male gender is a bad gender, but we have more often than not, we're speaking realistically, you find that a lot of men don't take advantage of the fact that I am a man, so I'm standing ground. What I say is fine. So you have to understand that there are women under them who may feel intimidated. They may not be able to speak up if they're being oppressed. So you have to give room for these people to always come to you and tell them any form of oppression that they are facing. Okay, so it may not be sexual assault, so to speak. They may be facing physical assault. mental assault. There's so many ways that these women may be feeling oppressed. Are you giving room for them to speak up? So then must be happening for them to speak up. It's a suggestion box, or a big forum where all of them gather and then they tell you the challenges they are facing in the job.
Thank you. I'll pick again from that and then move this way. I mean, so that's an example though. I'm working and I feel like my place of work is no longer, it's not what I want, or it's even stifling.
It's becoming
It's choking
toxic.
me, exactly. When do you think I can move on? I know normal answer should be, you should know where to go. But the question I'm asking is the common mistake people use to say it's time for me to go when we should actually not go.
Here's the thing. Once a work environment is toxic, the signs are there. Except you have decided to close your eyes and your mind to it. The signs are there. And once you begin, and it begins from the small acts, the small things that you may, give excuses for and whatnot. But you know within you that this is no longer conducive. At that moment is when you, because a workplace should also be a safe place for you. If your workplace is no longer safe for you, before it becomes a horror place, the signs are there. Begin to make your move fast. Be 2 steps ahead so that you are able to transition into another organization and you still maintain your psychological and emotional well-being.
Thank you. I'm going to take the last question today, and then we'll go to the questions that you sent to us in the chat box and we're going to them very quickly in the few time that we have left. Let's quickly talk about employee engagement. I know you touched on it, especially when you spoke to workplace and organizational culture and all of that. How do you think that people can always employee engagement on the employee and then overall on
Okay, so employee engagement is not just a one-way thing. It's not only the responsibility of the organization now. So as the name implies, employee engagement, the employee has to have the right mindset. Okay, so do you have the right mindset to be well engaged on the job? Okay, so if an employer employers give you job to do, so they've given you a certain responsibility to manage, okay, but they don't give you the right work tools. Now, as an employee, how do you ensure that they are giving these tools? Okay, so have you approached your employer? Approach your employer, sorry, that look, I don't have the right work to get this job done. Okay, so employee engagement is a two-way street to ensure that this employee is enjoying what he's doing. He's enmeshed into what he's doing. He likes the job and he wants to ensure that he's not only succeeding, but the business is succeeding. Okay, so when that is done, there's now some sort of symbiosis. Both parties are enjoying the benefits of one another. And there is growth. There's always room for growth. So employee engagement, the employer does his own part, gives the employer work to do, the employee work to do, gives him the work to do, and then the employee also shows that the right attitude to the job and ensures that he's doing the job as he should and even better.
thank you.